gaudy. So gaudy. Gaudy stats. Good God, that's gaudy. Welcome to Gaudy Stats.
With Ben Simmons.
What's on the menu, Benny boy?
Oh, yeah. Another episode of Gaudy Stats. Welcome. The first episode of the new year. That's right. I'm a little foggy. Gotta admit, I'm a little dehydrated. Had one too many glasses of the Champagne, sparkling wine. Actually, it was Prosecco. That's what I was drinking. It was delicious. It was crisp, and it was tickling my tongue. Tickle tongue. It's kind of hard to say. It was great. I had a good night. It was fun. But I'm not really functioning on all cylinders right now. I feel a little brain dead. And some of you might be saying, brain dead? Don't you always act brain dead? What's the difference? What's the difference? Really funny. You think it's funny? Huh? Making fun of me? Because I act brain dead? Huh? Do you think it's funny? Jesus Christ. I'm losing my mind. That's okay. Because, this podcast is a place to get zany, get weird. And that's what we do. And, it's perfect that we have one of my friends. He's as zany, weird as they come. A good friend of mine. He goes by the name of the Kempster. That's Christopher Kemp. And we talk about a great man. Man who's quick on his feet. Has that, fancy footwork. Twinkle toes. He can juke, he can jive. I'm talking about none other than the King Waterbug. Is he the king? That would probably be Mr. Kamara. I don't know how to say his last name, so I just say them two different pronunciations. No, we're talking about Mr. Dion Lewis of the New England Patriots. He is Waterbug Deluxe. He's actually now become a bell cow. I think he's had 50 carries the last 2 weeks to close out the season. And it's going to be really interesting to see what he does in the playoffs. Super excited to see that. But yeah, we get into Dion Lewis. All his stats, some of his advanced stats actually, which are pretty interesting. We talk about Mr. Kamara as well. We even touch on one of my favorites, Charlie Garner, underrated fantasy running back. He had a hell of a year in 2002. We touch on that briefly, and then we get down and dirty with Jimmy GQ. Great nickname by the Kempster on that one. We talk about him a little bit. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. It's a little bit rambling. But, it's come on. It's the day after New Year's Eve, man. What you gonna do? Come on. Trademark Gordon McKimmey. And thank you for everyone who's been listening and sending some nice notes. I really appreciate it. We're learning as we go. But I appreciate all the words of encouragement. It really means a lot. But, with this, I think I'm going to go with a little bit of the hair of the dog that bit me. So on the side, usually I mention like different dishes, great side dishes like, mashed potatoes or red beans and rice, things like that. But today, I think I'm going to go with the hair of the dog. I'm going to get a big mug filled up with the Champagne. The Champagne, the Champy Champs. I'm going to drink a little bit of that right now. Actually, I had Prosecco. I had Prosecco last night. It was crisp, clean, clear. It was delicious. Ooh. And so I think I'm going to do that now. Big old glass, big old mug. Maybe toss a little citrus in there because I love the mimosas. I love the, little champagne cocktail. So I think I'm going to put a little grapefruit juice in there. The Prosecco, the champagne. It's even the evening time, but I don't care. I'm going for it. All right, I'm going to have that morning brunch drink now as the sun goes down, and I'm watching it go down right now. I'm watching a time lapse outside of my window. Yeah. What the hell am I talking? Okay, I'm talking crazy. Let's just start this thing up. What do you say?
Hello?
Hey, buddy.
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm just, I'm knee deep right now in some Dion Lewis stats. And,
oh, wow, yeah. It's hard to get out of the grind when you're in that deep with Dion. It's like a train of thought. It goes from one to the next player to the next player. I mean, once you start down that rabbit hole, man,
I know
it becomes hard.
It's
crazy.
Crazy.
Hard to get yourself untethered.
It's true. It's true, man. I mean, so I paid close attention to the last two games the Patriots played. It looks like he had his most carries ever in the last two games.
Yeah, no, I mean he's being the bell cow now in the Patriots, and I think that's something that Bill Belichick was. Man, dude, I've had the flu all week, so I'll probably still sound like it. So,
you sound great. You sound
yeah, I know, right?
You sound virile, strong.
Yeah. I'm still getting over it. Yeah, it sounds really bad, but Dion Lewis is finally being given the rock. He's being positioned as almost like a bell cow back, especially with the rest of their running back core, basically.
He's a bell cow. He's a bell cow waterbug.
Which is, yeah, it's crazy, man. What's crazy is that, I mean, imagine, I don't know, Darren Sproles or Danny Woodhead or somebody, taking this sort of punishment. Like the thing that makes Dion Lewis that next cut above is that he can run hard as any running back in the game right now. He can run violently while also being able to juke defenders out of their freaking socks. I mean, he's got a Pro Football Focus stat is he's got the the number 2 juke rate behind Alvin Kamara.
I think it's number 3 is what I'm seeing. I'm on Player Profiler. You could be right, but I'm seeing number 3, but whatever. He's in the top 3. Still really good.
Yeah, I mean,
2 or 3.
He's also commanding a much larger target share than Alvin Kamara, and anybody else. So like
a catch rate, you mean?
He's getting more opportunity than Alvin Kamara.
Well, only the last 2 weeks though. Only the last 2 weeks though. I mean, hasn't Alvin Kamara been getting a lot of touches as well?
He's been averaging around 50% of the snap share. So I mean, he's he's not been used as extensively as Dion Lewis, especially in this last quarter of the season.
That's true. And I'm looking at the stats. You're right about that.
And so I mean, I think what makes Dion that dynamic is that if you saw the game yesterday, he looked almost like Le'Veon Bell out there. I mean, he was waiting, he was patient, he was looking for the holes, waiting for him to open up and then taking a shot. And when he was going into the hole, he was going in like violently.
Yeah, I saw that when he
knows
paused.
how to use his body. Yeah, go on.
And Tony Romo was like, "Look at that!" And Jim Nance was like, "Oh, that's Le'Veon Bell-esque." Yeah, he was definitely pausing. Yeah. One time he basically stood still, and the seas parted, very small amount. He's a small guy. He's a water bug. He can slip through any hole you can make, any hole of any size. Doesn't matter how small that little hole is. He will penetrate it.
But he paused
That's the right
and then
word
just like
you want to use?
yeah, right. I mean, I'm just talking about football here.
Wow, that's pretty suggestive. He penetrates.
It's
like
explicit
no other,
podcast.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, he slipped through that hole like it was crazy. He really does. You're right. I mean,
slipped it right in.
He really does have a little Le'Veon, a little bit. He's got a little Barry too. He's got a little Barry too.
That's what they're both 5'8". Like this is what I don't understand, especially in this day and age. Like there's so much like measurables.
Yeah.
And if you're not the prototypical 6'1", 230, or not 230, 220 running back, like, oh, that's a knock on you. That these guys, these Dion Lewises, and to some extent Alvin Kamara's get kind of get overlooked, especially in the draft process. That they're not fit for the rough and tumble of the NFL world, but they're not gonna last,
Yeah.
And while that's totally not 100% inaccurate when it comes to Dion Lewis, because he has shown to be tending towards the fragile side, if you had to say one or the other. Just look how dynamic he is. Like when he gets the ball, like the play, like anything could happen. Like that. I remember saying it the last time. Like you see the ball and you're like, you believe.
He's so much fun to watch.
Like anything could.
He is.
He really is, man. Like
I feel like I'm lucky when I get to watch him. I feel like I am lucky to be alive at this point in history. I know this is a little hyperbolic, but that's okay. That's who I am.
No hyperbole. Hyperbole here. You are totally accurate on this.
But like
in 2015, he was such a breath of fresh air, man. He was. I mean, we were.
No, it's a great pickup by Lombardi.
Coming off our 4th Super Bowl and all, but LeGarrette Blount was such a boring, yeah, like
Beetleback.
And that was our main guy. Like, in fact, the number one rusher, the Patriots' leading rusher that year was Jonas Gray of all people. Like it's such a boring backfield.
Yeah.
Like James White was pretty much an unknown, and Dion Lewis was kind of like this other guy. Nobody okay, he might make the team. We had Travaris Cadet, I want to say.
Yeah, I remember him.
Year.
Former Saints running back.
Yeah. Like Belichick loved him, poached him off of the Saints team, and like he was the hyped up guy. And we got injured during training camp, never panned out, got cut in the final cut downs, and like it was just like this guy Dion Lewis. How I had almost no buzz, a little bit of buzz. But as it came to the first game, like he was going to be the starter because Garrett Blount was suspended for 1 or 2 games, and that game versus Pittsburgh, that season opener, he just lit it up. He lit it up. He was such a breath of fresh air, and you knew he was special when he fumbled the ball, lost the ball, and Bill Belichick had him out there the very next series, which like never happened before.
Yeah.
You fumble the ball in Bill Belichick's system, you're gone. You are in the doghouse. You're not going to play. Look at Stephen Ridley. You're not going to play again. And he's out there the very next series. Like this guy.
Just to give the listeners some context, in that game, he finished with 15 carries for 69 yards, and he also had 4 catches for 51 yards on 5 targets. So he had 110 total yards that game that you're talking about against the Steelers.
And honestly, Ben, like the yards don't do it justice because you look at the stat sheet and it's like 51 yards. But I remember talking to you last time and saying, like, talking to you about a play versus the Jets back in like week 8 or 9 or whenever, that he was tackled like 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and there's just a still photo of him being tackled 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and the Twitter, tweet says, on this play, Dion gained 2 yards. So, he's dead to rights 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but is still somehow able to wiggle his way out to actually gain net positive yards on that play. Like, those are the plays that are just so exciting. I mean, 2015, he made it's like a spectacular dump pass from Brady versus the Cowboys, and he just lowered his shoulders. Some dude just totally whiffed. I mean, because he's smaller than everybody. He just went underneath this guy's arm and went in for a touchdown. I mean, it's such a beautiful play. But those are the things that he does. Like, each flipped-in game, and it really is incredible to watch. He knows he's 5'8". Like, he is all muscle.
Yeah. He's got a body mass index of 30, which 32 is supposed to be.
Really?
Yeah, 32 is supposed to be extraordinary. He's got 30.
Yeah.
So he's 5. So technically, it says here on this. I'm on Player Profiler. I've seen 5. I've seen 5'7". I've seen 5'8". Well, I didn't get you a Christmas present, and I apologize for that. I probably never will, but I do have a little present for you now that I want to share with you.
Thanks, man.
I have 5 interesting, in my opinion, IMO Dion Lewis stats that I want to share with you. Okay, that I thought.
No, give them to me.
I was just perusing. I mean, I can't help but look. I can't help but I'm stuttering. I'm so excited. I can't help but look at this guy's stats and just marvel. I mean, he hasn't gotten a lot of volume, except for the last 2 weeks in his career. So we don't have a ton of stats to work with. But
and he sorry to butt in, but in 2015, he tore his ACL in week 9, I believe.
I remember I had him on my fantasy team. I remember when it happened. Man. I remember when it happened. He made this cut. There was nobody even close to him. He just made this crazy cut, and he fell down. And I was like,
fell down. Yeah. Oh man. New England fan base was gutted on that, but it was so deflating because he was honestly the kind of the spark plug for that offense. I mean, he opened up so many new options for Brady that year. Because people had to respect him. They could no longer double up on Gronk. Edelman, they couldn't keep a linebacker and a robber in to guard Edelman because they had to have that guy keep on the lookout for Dion Lewis. When he got hurt, I honestly think that changed the whole dynamic of that season. Now, granted, we ended up that year such a what if year because we lost Gronk, Edelman, all these other guys, but when he went down that year, the air of that team, the spirit just evaporated.
I mean, and then next year,
dynamic. He really, and he wasn't the same last year. He came back and everybody's like, oh God, week 10 he's coming back. Oh, counting down the days, and he just wasn't the same guy. And you're finally seeing that in this last half of the season where he's finally over that ACL tear. He's finally starting to come back to his old Dion self. He is going to get paid this off season. It's a shame. I don't see any way the Patriots hold on to him.
Yeah, and I bet when he leaves the Patriots, he's going to immediately have a horrible injury and never be the same again. I hope not.
One can hope. I mean, hope not. That's what I meant. I didn't mean it like that.
Wow.
No. Well, I'm saying that he needs to sign with the Patriots. I mean, no, I don't want to. Hey, I'm all about if you're playing football, get as much money as you can while you can because seriously, one day you have it and the next day you don't, and I mean it's a tough game. So, but anyway, sorry to
Oh no! Hey! This podcast is all about the tangents, my friend. Okay.
So give me these interesting stats.
Well, okay.
I'm dying to hear them.
Kim, Did you know that Dion Lewis hasn't dropped a pass in 2 years?
Yeah, wow. Did not know that.
0 drops this year and 0 drops last year. Of course, he didn't play the full season last year. He had 4 in 2015. So
and I'll be like, they haven't really been targeting him.
I know, it drives me crazy as a fantasy owner, and also like just watching. Because he's such a good pass catcher. They just have too many options.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, Rex Burkhead is their guy.
He's good too.
Yeah, he is really good. And the fact that he's been hurt is kind of out of necessity. They've had to throw to him. But I don't like. My best guess is that Belichick is trying to preserve him for for the playoffs or whatever. But I just feel like at some point you got to unleash him. He's far and away your best option. I mean, and if there's anybody that can think up of a way to do it, it would be Josh McDaniel. But you got to find a way to have Burkhead and Dion Lewis both on the field at the same time. Maybe have
and James
Burkhead
White
out wide,
and James White, and Mike Gillislee. I want to see if all four running backs.
A four-man backfield.
Yeah, like a full house like formation with like all 4 guys in the backfield somehow. Can you only have 3 guys in the backfield?
And one.
Or is there a limit? Is there a limit?
Sure. I don't know if there is or not. Man.
Like a diamond formation, with like they're all 3 in like a diamond.
You could have. I mean, technically, you could have 4 running backs and a wide receiver. I mean, that's 11.
Yeah.
Or 4 running backs and a.
But like, think of like
that'd be such a great idea. Bill Belichick needs to implement that.
Well, like if the other team is like looking at personnel and like they have 4 running backs, and it's like all linebackers out there, and like you send like, I think I was talking to Sam, maybe you about this, but you send Dion Lewis on a wheel route, and it's probably you, but like he's gonna burn any linebacker, and I think James White probably would too, and Burkhead probably would too. Gillislee probably would too.
Like you get him in open space. There's no way a linebacker is going to be able to keep pace with him and be able to not get juked out of his fucking socks. But
it's true
in the open field. So I mean, they really do need to have new ways to implement Dion Lewis.
I think they're gonna unveil it in the playoffs. They're gonna unveil it like these like three running back sets, or like I don't know, they've got something up their sleeve. But in terms of fans,
they do. I mean, what's funny is like that like it's something that's kind of like unstated, but like it's a game that's played all the time where coaches are holding back so much stuff.
Yeah,
so many plays. For the playoffs, especially Bill Belichick. They've got so many plays that they've designed specifically for the playoffs.
Yeah, like the guy who made that popular, kind of he's known as a mastermind in the NFL, is Jeff Fisher. That guy, he was famous. He's so many.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
He's become this podcast whipping boy. Sam was just levying so many haymakers his way. The other podcast we did, he can't stand Jeff Fisher, and I'm right there with him. I'm not a big fan either.
Well, he's such an easy target. He's such an easy target to just blast. I mean, he holds the record for most losses all time by a head coach. I mean,
really?
Yeah,
it's a gaudy stat. It's a gaudy stat right there.
Yeah, I think it's like 317, or I mean, it's some ridiculous number. I mean, he's tied with Dan Reeves, but
Well, I guess if you coach that long and you're kind of like average, you're gonna have a lot of losses.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't make it right. He shouldn't. He should never be coaching again. And I loved how Jeff Fisher was trying to take credit for St. Louis Rams, or Los Angeles Rams' success.
Yeah, it's just
so funny.
Classic move by that guy.
Classic Jeff. Well, that was me, really. Oh, I got all those guys together. I mean, Somebody needs to give me credit over here. Who's this guy? Who is this guy?
Who does this guy think he is? Come on. All right. So back to our boy Dion. Okay, Kemp. Did you know? All right, the Patriots are undefeated when Dion Lewis touches the ball 10 times or more. Oh, I'm sorry. Rushes the ball. When he rushes the ball 10 times.
Rushes the ball. Yeah. I did know that actually, and
I'm not surprised.
He was 16-0 whenever he dressed. For the Patriots, he was 16. They were 16-0. So I always said, like, there's no way you gotta sign him just to, even if it's just to make him a mascot. You know, just like the little mascot of the Patriots, because like he's good luck. Of course, then they went out and lost to Kansas City, so that kind of like put the kibosh on that. But you know, your fact still remains. Like when he's rushing, when he gets at least 10 carries, they're undefeated, and he's gold, man. He's gold. He can do it all. He rushes, receiving, kick returns. He can do it all.
That actually is a nice segue into my next Dion highlight. Who do you think has the most? Who do you think has the most all-purpose yards in the NFL this year? Who had not? I shouldn't do present tense there. I should do past tense because the season's over. Who had the most all-purpose yards in the NFL this past year, 2017?
I mean, is it Dion Lewis?
No, it's Alvin Kamara. But Dion is number 2. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean,
although I should say that Alvin Kamara had 1,901 yards, and Dion Lewis.
Kamara or Kamara?
Maybe it's Kamara. Yeah, I'm probably wrong about that.
I don't know.
And Dion had.
I'm not sure.
Dion had 1,680, so he had a lot less than Alvin. I'm just gonna start calling him Alvin. I'm gonna call him Alvin from now on.
Big Al. Yeah, just for you don't want to mess up that last name. So Alvin is
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah.
I think he's gonna revert back to the mean. I'm kind of leery on Alvin Kamara just because.
Yeah, it's like a special season. It's a special season. It's not gonna repeat.
You don't want to overhype 1 year. And while I think he was really good, I do think he was really, really good. I think he's borderline rookie of the year. I think Cooper Kupp needs to be in that discussion as well.
You're so biased because you drafted him. That's why you're saying that.
Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp was legit, man.
Yeah, he was really good.
Cooper Kupp was the
really
truth.
I agree.
Then we could do a whole podcast on my man Cooper Kupp.
I'm all about doing the whole podcast on like lower tier players. He's not lower tier, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
he's still flying under the radar.
I'm all about it, buddy. In the summertime or like off season, there's not much going on. Fire it up.
Yeah, you could talk about up and coming college players that are coming into the NFL. I mean,
I don't know about that.
This is dynasty, man. This is all about dynasty.
Well, actually, I probably will have you on a lot to talk about, like leading up to like fantasy drafts. I think I'm gonna do multiple big like fantasy prep kind of shows. I think.
Yeah, to pick everybody's brain to get insider tips from us, so you can leverage that against us. Not a chance. Hey, I think you can get.
How can you see inside my soul from across the country?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Translucent. It's very easily seen.
Wow. Well, I'm offended you would think that, Kemp. How can I muster up outrage? I'm trying to muster up outrage.
News from a mile away, man.
All right. So when someone's outraged, what do they say? What do they do? Hey, what? What? How dare you? Do I start yelling, or am I quiet, or what? Am I offended?
I've never been so insulted in my life.
I'll know all your secrets, and then I'll just play them like a game of chess. Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Hey, well, I think actually Sam, between you and me, he's easily duped. So you might want to go after
Between
that.
you and me, huh? Between you and me.
Yeah. Cut this out, actually. Cut this out of the. You're gonna cut this out, right?
No.
You're gonna cut this out.
I can't, dude. Sorry.
Edit that out. So right before I say between you and me, so like, well, on my buh, cut. Right. So anyway.
Anyway, okay. On to the next Dion Lewis. All right, there's two more.
Yeah.
And these are. This next one's a little bit more of like an advanced stat. It's yards created per carry. So all yards above and beyond what was blocked per touch. Yeah. It's like all yards above and beyond what was blocked per touch. Yards created are generally by the runner after the first evaded tackler. And Kemp, where do you think Dion ranks in yards created per carry?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say 1, man, because he has to be up there.
Bingo, you got it. Number 1.
Money. I mean, because like if you look, he had. I kind of got off track, but his frame. He's 5'8". He's so small, yet he packs such a punch. He knows how to use all 5 and 8 inches of his body, and he's so small that like he actually makes it harder for guys to tackle him.
Yeah. I mean, he was repeatedly getting first downs after, like yesterday. He was Sunday, the week 17 of the NFL season, 2017. He was repeatedly getting extra yards. He got multiple first downs on like dump offs. Like there was one where Brady threw it to him. It was almost like parallel. I guess perpendicular to the offensive line. It was basically almost like a backwards pass, and he caught it and got like 5 yards when most running backs would get stopped behind the line. And he's creating yards out of nothing. He really is. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me in kind of like a tangential way. There's a clip of Muhammad Ali. We're getting so hyperbolic.
In a corner, I know.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
But there's a clip of Muhammad Ali, and I forget who he's boxing, but the boxer is like punching Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali's just moving his head back and forth, and his opponent is just hitting air the entire time. Never hits him once. He's going for the face the entire time, hitting him like doing like at least 24 swings, and never hits him in the face. Like it's that kind of agility that like that's Dion Lewis. Like he catches the ball and guys are trying to tackle him and all they do is tackle air. He's like he's moving around. He's that jitterbug that's so hard to tackle.
Jitterbug. That's a good. Maybe I should add that to the lexicon.
The jitterbug.
You got waterbugs who are like he's a waterbug. But maybe he could be a jitterbug, and then like there's beetlebacks, which are like plotters, like a LeGarrette Blount. We're still fleshing out all the terms we're gonna use.
Yeah, but LeGarrette Blount.
Wow, you really don't like that guy. He had a great season last year for you.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he
wow.
did. He was
ungrateful.
All right. He was
ungrateful,
right.
Kemp.
I had him in fantasy and dynasty, and I always benched him whenever he had a game that he ended up going off in.
That's the worst.
Oh, I never got to have the fruits of his labor. I always benched him when he ended up doing great. So yeah, but I didn't like him before then. I thought like he could never convert a first down. If it was 3rd and short, 4th and short, you hand it to him, he would never get the first down. I thought he was just your average Joe as far as running backs go. And
wow,
yeah, he's the total opposite of Dion Lewis.
Yeah, he really is. He truly is. But the next one I have for you though is interesting. And I was not expecting this.
Give it to me.
I was not expecting this. All right, so who do you think has the best yards per carry in the league amongst running backs?
Yards per carry. I'm going to say Dion Lewis.
It's actually
No.
It's our boy. You want me to say
it?
it? You want me to say it?
Let me guess again. All right, yards per carry.
Don't cheat. Don't you
Has
cheat.
he been? Did he get injured?
Yes, at one point during the season.
But not like a whole year injury?
No, not the whole year.
Okay. Yards per carry, man.
Yards per carry, yeah. It's right there in front of you. It's right there.
Jay Ajayi.
No, sorry, my friend. It was our boy Alvin. Just talked about. He had
man, I was thinking that, but I was
6.1.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be somebody else.
But guess who got number 2? Guess who got number 2? Our boy Dion Lewis. 5 even.
Yards per carry.
5 even.
I
mean, it's just awesome to think about the fact that he is number 2 in the NFL in yards per carry.
It's crazy. I mean, but I don't know. I look at Kamara and I'm like, I look at him as almost exclusively a pass catcher.
Mm.
You know, I don't see him running up the gut the way because that's Ingram. Like I can't recall many plays where he's running up the gut. Like he's not. So I wonder how many carries he's got. You know, his is all like outside. I just think Dion Lewis, like you give him the ball, he can run it up the gut, which is almost crazy to think about. Like he can be a grinder in a way that Kamara cannot be.
Well, Kamara carried the ball 120 times, which is kind of surprising. I thought it'd be less. 120 times, 728 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
So I wonder how many of those are like sweeps.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I think he gets a lot. He's like a space player. He gets the ball, a quick sweep, or he just gets gets those short little passes and a lot of screens.
Yeah. So it makes me think, like, granted, like I don't follow Kamara the way I do Dion, but like, if my notion is correct that he's doing a bunch, like he's not running it up the gut the way Dion has been. Mm-hmm. Like it almost makes Dion's stat line more impressive.
Yeah,
because he's running it in the middle of the front 7 and getting yards. Like there's so few times where he's stopped on first contact.
Yeah,
where like he's always grinding it for more yards. Like it's Marshawn Lynch-esque. The way like you're not getting him down on first contact. He's going to keep grinding it in, and he's plowing right through the center, and he's 5'8". Like he's 5'8", like a $190.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's had looks like he's had 60 more carries than Alvin this year. He's had Dion carried the ball 180 times for 896 yards, 6 touchdowns. So right.
And if you look at his game log this year, like. He didn't start getting double-digit touches until week 6, I believe, against the
exactly right. The Jets. He had 11 for 52 yards. And
so I mean, they were still trying out Gillisley, still trying out Burkhead. Well, Burkhead was hurt, but mixing James White in there, like they didn't come to their senses until relatively late in the season. So like he's been pounding it pretty good this year. So I mean,
no, he really has. I mean, the only game they lost was against Miami, and that was the game he only got 5 carries for 17 yards. As I said before, every and when I said they've won every game where he's gotten 10 carries or more, that's not just this season. It's his whole time with the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, and look at some of these. Look at some of these. I'm actually now on the
looking at his game log,
the database. Yeah,
oh,
and he's
it's a beautiful game log.
I mean, we're talking about he's averaging yards or average yards per carry. 7.57 versus Tampa. 4.73 versus the Jets. 5.85. 6.0. 7.47, 6.13, 5.15, 5.38. Like, those are amazing stats. I mean, I want to say the baseline between, like, okay, you're good, but between good and poor, or just like, not impressive, is 4.0. So if you're like 4.0, okay, that's good. Anything below that is, whatever. And like high fours is really, really good. So anything above high fours is like incredible. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games where he's averaging more than 5 yards a carry. Like, that's crazy.
I think he's got more.
So I mean,
he's got more than that, I think. Or maybe not. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. No, you're right.
I mean, but when you're like looking at against Houston, he's got 2 rushes for 5 yards. Like, come on, you can throw that one out. Or 4 for 14. Like, these early games are kind of,
Yeah, no, totally.
Kind of be suspect, But like, when he's getting the rock, man, like he's making something happen with it.
No, it's true. It's true.
That's what impresses me most about him. I mean, Danny Woodhead was kind of like that. I know that, like, sounds crazy to hear, but Danny Woodhead was another player. I always say, like, man, what if? That's one of those players that the Patriots let get away that they shouldn't have let get away.
Well, if they got Dion though to take his place.
Yeah, it just took like 3 years before he came in, but whatever.
What was that year that Danny Woodhead went off with the Chargers? I'm trying to find it. I think it was 2015. Was that the year with Danny had like he had 80 catches for 755 yards and 6 touchdowns that year with the Chargers, including a game in which I had him playing that week. He had 12 targets for 11 catches and 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. This was week 7, 2015. They're playing Oakland, and I just went off. Although it wasn't more gaudy than week 14 when the Chargers were playing Miami, and he had Kemp. This is one of the gaudiest receiving back stat lines I've ever seen. Okay, so just prepare yourself.
All right, yeah.
It's gaudy in a weird way too. He had 8 carries, all right, for 10 yards. So that's a 1.25 average. Then he had a touchdown on the ground. He had 1 rushing touchdown. Then he had 6 targets, 6 catches, 50 yards, and 3 touchdowns through the air.
Unreal. When he's finally said and done, like his career stat line's not going to look that impressive.
I know it's not.
But man, when at his best, like he was one of the best throwers. I think he's kind of ill cast in Baltimore, but like. Man, they're trying to find somebody to replace Kyle Juszczyk, I think, and injuries, of course, kind of derailed him this year. But man, he at his best, he was one of the top scat backs in the league. Man,
what's a scat back?
The fact that he went to San Diego.
What's a scat back?
Scat back. I mean, look up a picture of Danny Woodhead.
Oh, I thought. Oh, okay. Is that like a waterbug? Is it like a waterbug back?
Yeah.
Okay. All I know is waterbug. I don't know the other terms. Oh no, it's the Waterbug.
Yeah, look at Kevin Falk. You know, these guys are all staples. These are your go-to guys if you want to talk about like legendary Waterbugs.
Yeah, there we go. Waterbugs. Yeah, legend. No, Kevin Falk. I'm going to do so Sam and I did do that receiving running back pod, but that was just the beginning, okay? Because there's so many guys to look at, so many great careers. There's actually a Charlie Garner season that is very impressive. That I'm gonna when we do an Alvin Kamara, when we do an Alvin podcast.
Let's temper our expectations for Kamara, man. We're talking 1 year. Man.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm just talking about this year. I'm going to compare his season to some other seasons, and there's a season that Charlie Garner had that, let's just say it was plenty gaudy, and but that's just a little tease. I'm not going to get into it right now. But
I'm sure listeners are sitting with bated breath, waiting for Charlie Garner.
Oh God!
The Charlie Garner podcast.
That guy had an underrated career, to be quite honest. Charlie Garner. He played it for the Niners.
I will reluctantly agree with you on that. He was pretty good.
Look him up, listeners.
I actually am right now, like over 7,000 yards rushing, 3,700 yards receiving.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and do this now. Let's just talk. I'll talk about the season another time, but I just want to bring up this season because it makes me so happy. It's the
which one?
2002 when he was age 30. All right. The man had 182 rushes for 962 yards and 7 touchdowns. Then he also had 111 targets for 91 catches, 941 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was a real deal. A lot of those early 2000 Oakland teams had a lot of like sneaky good players.
I know. Tim Brown, Jerry Rice. Old Jerry Rice with the weird receding hairline braids.
Rich Gannon went out of his mind.
I know.
Like
so many completions.
Actually, a couple random years, I want to say.
Like all those little short passes. It was just honestly that year was like one of the most fun.
Did he win MVP one year?
I think he won that year. One of those years. I think he won 2002 when he had a crazy number of completions that year. Like their whole offense was just little like dink and dunk, kind of precision slants, and like these short. They would just like surgically just like dismantle teams' defenses with these little short passes. It was an absolute joy. I distinctly remember. I have a memory of I was hanging out with Michael Che, one of our good friends, in his dorm room, and we were taking bong riffs, and Rich Gannon.
Of course. Do anything else?
Yeah, of course. It was Monday Night Football I was playing, and Rich Gannon. I think he set the NFL record for most completions, like most straight completions in a game. I think maybe it was just like.
I'm sorry, he was nuts. Those early 2000s, he was so good. It was, man. And then. I think that one of those years in the early 2000s, he came to Foxborough and played in that.
Oh, that's the only thing you remember. Wow.
Yeah, it was like snowing really bad, and Adam Vinatieri kicked a field goal. I want to say. I
think that was the year before. I think that was the year before.
It was the year before, but give or take a year, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. This is what I remember from Rich Gannon.
Wait, was that the Tuck Rule game?
Foxborough.
That was the Tuck Rule game.
I mean, it was the divisional round.
Okay, serious question here.
It was the 2001 divisional round playoffs is what it was, Ben. We don't look in the annals of NFL. It won't say Tuck Rule game. It'll say 2001 divisional round playoffs.
I'm looking in the annals right now.
Yeah, the annals of the Patriots won.
What would have happened if that had been called a fumble? What would the Patriots franchise be right now? if that had been called a fumble.
I mean, this is what makes me so mad about that. That whole like that's such a non argument because it's a false premise, because you could say that about well, what if David Tyree hadn't have caught that, 1 in a million catch?
Yeah.
Like, did David Tyree, think about this, David Tyree, did he catch another pass?
The great David Tyree.
Yeah, in his
legendary.
entire life in the NFL? Like, David Tyree, barely good enough to crack the 53-man squad of most teams, catches this once-in-a-lifetime ball.
It's incredible.
If he doesn't do that, like, look at all the dominoes that would have fallen or wouldn't have fallen.
Yeah.
If that would have happened. Like there's so many what ifs.
It's true.
So
it's true.
Like when teams say that when people say that, oh, Patriots are so lucky, I say luck is something that it goes both ways,
Yeah.
Yeah, they can get lucky sometimes, but most good teams do. But there have also been times where the ball hasn't gone their way, and
that's true. It's true.
It happens, But I think if that ball would have been a fumble, would have been ruled a fumble, which obviously it wouldn't have, because that was the rule at the time. The rule was correctly applied, but that's neither here nor there. If it was a fumble, I think that would have happened, and they still would have won. They still would have won in 2003. They still would have won in 2004. I think Tom Brady still would have been the quarterback. I think Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe still would have been traded. Because Bill Belichick, from what I understand, didn't like Drew Bledsoe.
Really?
And not that he didn't like him, but thought that Tom Brady was the better player.
Yeah. Just like he felt with Jimmy G.
I know.
And did you see the game? Did you see what happened? So Jimmy G is undefeated now with the Niners. Did you see that? Against the vaunted L.A. Rams. The vaunted. Destroy the L.A. Rams.
God.
They were sitting all their players. They were sitting all their players, but that's neither here nor there. That's no one's gonna remember that. Everyone's gonna see that they killed the Rams.
He's undefeated, man. What's so frustrating is that a second rounder, really, Bill, a second rounder.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't have at least thrown conditions that if he won so many games, you'd also throw in a third rounder. And those sorts of trade deals happen all the time where if so and so plays X number of snaps, the 2018 fourth rounder will become a 2018 third rounder.
Yeah.
So those, it's not like those trades are uncommon. They happen all the time. You could have at least put that in that if he reaches these benchmarks, then we'll also get, I don't know, a third rounder, a fourth rounder, something else. You get a second rounder, and with each game, the Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy GQ is winning.
Jimmy GQ, that's great.
He is, with every game that he's winning, he's pushing that second round pick even further back into the second round. It is infuriating to watch this, to know that we gave him away for nothing almost. Oh man!
And how old is Tom Brady? How old is Tom Brady? 40?
He's 40, man, and he's. I think he's legit hurt. His Achilles is jacked up. I think his non-throwing shoulder is kind of jacked up.
That's not good either.
The first Miami game really did him in, and I don't think he's been able to get totally healthy. And some of the throws are off. He seems to have lost. You thought that there was a rapport growing between him and Brandon Cooks, and all of a sudden that's not there.
Well,
I don't know.
I got a question. Should they take him around back? You think? Should they take him around?
Tom Brady out back.
Should you take him around back?
Take Tom Brady.
Is it time?
No. you don't take Tom Brady out back. What you do with Tom Brady is you build him a statue, and you play. It'd be like the Colossus at Rhodes. One of those 7 ancient wonders of the world.
Mm-hmm.
That you build. In fact, I think what they're going to do, they're going to build like a Colossus at Foxborough, where Tom Brady's, 1 foot of Tom Brady's going to be on a statue. Tom Brady's going to be on one side of the stadium, and then the other foot of statue Tom Brady is going to be on the other side of the stadium, and it's going to connect. And so everybody that sees just statue Tom Brady above everything, kind of like the Colossus at Rhodes way back when. If you're a history nut out there, like, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's my vision. And then plus, when everybody looks up, they'll see his crotch. I mean, really, that's what you do with Tom Brady.
It's like Gulliver's Travels.
Think about taking him out.
It's like Gulliver's Travels.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Looking
up. Actually, Jonathan Sweat.
Colossus. Looking up at his junk. Oh man,
Gaudy Stats and Jonathan Swift. I mean, they were kind of like for each other. It's just a way of kind of fitting it in there. I'm glad we were able to do that.
No, it's we're gonna do things like that. I mean, that's what we do. Tangents across different sports, pop culture. Everything. Classic literature. Whatever you want to talk about. Ancient history. Oh man, well, hey, I appreciate you getting on the horn with me, Kemp. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, anytime, man.
We could go on and on and on, but we'll save it for another time. I do want to do. I know it's going to be hard for you, but I probably will want to do a Jimmy G podcast at some point. Maybe can talk to you just like for 10 minutes about his Pats years, what you saw, why you love him so much, why when Tom Brady breaks down
I would love
to
talk about him. He is like, I'd love to talk about his facial features. I mean, how he is almost sculpted like a Greek bronze. He is,
I like
and I'm straight. I am. I've got a wife. I've got kids. As my wife would say, that doesn't matter that much anymore. That doesn't mean anything. But still, I'm straight, and he's a very attractive guy.
Well, I was telling you through text
platonically speaking, he's very attractive.
I'm head over heels. I mean, just watching him on the field, like he slithers out of so many sacks. Like he's just so nifty in the pocket. You know what I'm saying?
And his release, man. His release is so quick.
Yeah.
It's like
he can do a sidearm. He can do like a little push pass. He's got all the tools, as they say. He's got the whole toolbox.
I think his quick release is like his number one asset. It prevents rushers from getting to him. And I think he needs to work on that sidearm. That's gonna kill him in the end if he doesn't get that fixed. But
really? I thought well, you've seen him more than I have, but he threw a nice little sidearm for a touchdown. I think it was this week, maybe last week.
Those always make you wince, like.
Yeah.
What are you doing throwing it sidearms? Come on now.
Yeah.
But by throwing it sidearm, you're throwing it low.
Yeah.
You're asking for a lineman to in the vicinity to either bat it down or worse.
Yeah. Well, I really hope when he first got traded, I was kind of adamant that they needed to install like a quick passing offense similar to, the Rich Gannon, maybe not as hyper quick short passing as that Rich Gannon 2002 Raiders squad, but the offense they have now, I think, has too many deep drops, 5, 7 step drops, and they need to get the ball out of his hand. One, because he has got a great quick release, and two, because he's a little fragile, and I want to protect my little Jimmy G. I don't want him to get hurt. I'm a little worried about that. So hopefully they'll address that.
There were rumors out there that he was because he got hurt in the second game subbing in for Tom Brady last year, and there were rumors that Bill Belichick was pretty upset in the fourth game because he thought Jimmy G could go in that game, and Jimmy G was like telling him that I can't go, like because he hurt his shoulder in game 2, and like it was the toughness there, like that was kind of like the headline, the discussion of that week. Like, where's the toughness? Is the toughness there with Jimmy G? Like Tom Brady has it. That's something that Jimmy G doesn't have, which I guess is a fair point. But I mean,
we'll see. I guess only time will tell.
So far, so good, man. Yeah,
if he gets
so far, so good.
Yeah. I mean, we're just basically over the moon to have him. Yeah. But
oh yeah.
Even if he gets injured, you probably trade him pretty easily.
What do you think? You think the 49ers are gonna keep him?
I mean,
franchise him?
Oh yeah, they got to. I mean, there's so much pressure.
Trying to deal.
I think they're trying to get a deal, and I was talking to our mutual friend Andrew McGee, aka Gize, and he was telling me that Bill Barnwell wrote this article that had a bunch of scenarios outlined with Jimmy G. I haven't read the article yet because I'm just a lazy bastard, but there was.
Well, here's the scary thing.
Well, if they front load his contract. If they front load it with like big numbers in the first few years, it'll be more manageable later on, and they can build. They can build
because they got the cap space. Like they're so flush with money.
117 million.
Cap space.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the thing that would, I don't know, somewhat worry me if I'm a Niners fan is that Kirk Cousins has kind of shown how it, at least in theory, like it's viable to play year to year under the franchise tag.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy, like Kirk Cousins, who by the way is, I mean, above average quarterback. Like he's nothing fancy. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl, but he might get you.
Wow.
He might get you to the playoffs. He might win you a playoff game, but he's
hot take.
Yeah.
It's a hot take.
Well, I don't think it. I think it's. Not that hot of a take, but like
lukewarm.
Like,
lukewarm.
Yeah, standard take. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl, but this guy is about. He's on the verge of making $100 million over 3 years just because he's playing on the franchise tag each year.
Yeah.
Like,
crazy.
Like that's a viable strategy. That's a viable weapon to have. If you're Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going in there and you're like, hey, look, either we get a multi-year contract on my terms or franchise tag me. I'm fine being franchise tagged. You want to franchise tag me? Go right ahead.
And
because I'm going to be playing.
Well, I was going to ask you, is franchise, is that like all guaranteed?
Yeah, it's 100%. Franchise tag, 100% guaranteed. And if you do it the next year, if you franchise tag them the next year, it's like
goes up
23% above what it would have been, what would be the standard franchise tag for a quarterback. It has to be 23% above that rate. And then if you want to franchise tag them the third year, it's like 40% above what the franchise tag rate is.
So wait, Cousins is like on year 3 now, right? Or he will be on year 3.
He will be. I don't see how the Redskins tag him, but there's scuttlebutt around.
Nice word.
I know. Consent word there, but there's talk that he's going to be that they're going to have to franchise tag him again. Because, like, what else can they do? They don't want to, let him leave. Like, quarterbacks like that, even above average quarterbacks like that.
It's true.
They don't come on the market.
I know.
They never come on the market.
Well,
those stay in-house. But they're going to have to sign him. So, think about it. And if they sign him, it'll be for, $45 million. Some crazy number for 1 year. Do you don't think Jimmy G's looking at that and being like, all right, hey, look, I can play for the franchise tag. You want to play that game? I can play that with you.
Well, in a league that's so there's not as much guaranteed money as the NBA. Like the NBA or like baseball, like I can see the appeal of being on the franchise. I mean, it's so much simpler, and it's like you're getting these you're getting like all of it guaranteed each year. I mean, of course, it is year to year, so if you get injured, it kind of changes things. But I can see the appeal, especially for quarterbacks who they do get injured, but they don't get injured as much as like people who take a ton of hits, like linebackers.
Yeah, the way the game's being like injuries are being regulated out of quarterbacks just because owners don't want to see their like you're investing $20 million into a quarterback. I don't want to see that guy get hurt.
Yeah.
Do whatever you can to make sure, like, whatever the refs need to do to make sure that this guy stays in plastic wrap the entire time. Make sure that happens.
Yeah.
So, like, like I want to say that that's where it's going. You're getting contracts, especially with quarterbacks, where it's going to be like almost all guaranteed. So, like, $120 million, 4 year, $120 million. 110 of it's guaranteed, something like that.
Wow.
But look at Derek Carr, look at Matt Stafford, look at Andy Dalton, Jay Cutler not too long ago. Like, man, like you have one bad Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Andrew, like you have one bad year, man, that's such an albatross on your team's shoulders, on your team's around your team's neck. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That I mean.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a huge risk, but I think that's where it's going.
Yeah. Well, you're probably right. They're gonna have to back up the Brinks truck for old Jimmy GQ as you put him. Jimmy G has shown that he's worth it, man. You got to do it. I mean, it's just, there's like only, as you said about the quarterbacks, like it's just such a position that you basically have to have a competent quarterback to compete in the NFL, and I think he's proven in his last 5 games that he's proven.
He's the truth.
Yeah, he's worthy of getting, Mike Glennon money.
I know. He's
Brock
way more
Osweiler
than that,
money. Yeah, I know. So
with the way the market is, where he this may be a hot take, I'm not sure, but like with the way the market is right now, he's worthy of being the highest. He's worthy of being the highest paid quarterback. Signing a deal to become the highest paid quarterback, if only because San Francisco has the cap room to make that happen.
Yeah. And
since they have the cap room to make that happen, they should make that happen because regardless if you think, oh man, there's still questions about Jimmy G, whether you believe that or not, the fact is he's shown enough to get a contract, a nice contract. And if I'm Jimmy G, I'm not signing anything less than something that makes me the highest paid gives me the highest paid contract. Because if you don't want to do it, then either franchise me or let me go walk in free agency, and then I guarantee you I will get the highest paid contract for a quarterback. So I think all the cards are with Jimmy G on this one. They need to just go ahead and hand him the money.
Yeah, give him the money. Show him the money, man. Pay the man.
I'm telling you.
Ink him up. It's getting us a little uneasy here in Niner Nation. We want to see Jimmy inked up, even if you have to franchise him. But
imagine Jimmy with Jimmy G with somebody other than Marquise Goodwin. I
know. Oh, he got rocked. Did you see him get hit during that game? He got like this. It's so violent.
I caught like the tail end of it.
Oh God, poor guy.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. Like a true, 6'2", kind of like Demaryius Thomas or Alshon Jeffrey type receiver.
They're picking like 9th or 10th in the draft this year. So like you pick up Cortland Sutton or Christian Kirk. I wonder what is he, like 6'3", I want to say, from Texas A&M, or that guy from Oklahoma State, Washington. I forget his name, but or Equanimous St. Brown from Notre Dame, although I think he's kind of overhyped. But yeah, I mean, the options are there. Like, this isn't a strong class for wide receivers, but if you're picking 9th or 10th, there's a good chance you're going to be picking the first wide receiver off the board.
Yeah.
So you get a good one. There you go.
Well, who's going to be available in free agency? Who do you think is going to be available in free agency? Curious about that, too.
Paul Richardson. Get Paul Richardson, man. He's on my
He could be good,
team.
actually.
Pick him up.
He's a speedster.
Yeah, he's a burner, man.
Get him. Get him.
Yeah, get him. Jarvis Landry is going to be
on
the market.
Get him.
I don't know if he fits.
No, he does. Get him.
It's kind of a redundant role. Like, Trent Taylor's kind of got that role.
I know.
I mean, yeah, he's
like
probably
Trent
better
Taylor.
than Trent Taylor, but, like, I don't know, man.
It's a good point.
I think San Francisco's got their Jarvis Landry and Trent Taylor. Let's see, who else?
Well, you know what? We'll save it. We'll save it for the free agency pod. We'll do a free agency.
Kendall Wright?
He could be good, but I don't know. He doesn't really move the needle. Because there's not any really big wide receiver free agents. They're going to be in the market. I think Alshon signed his extension, so he was somebody maybe who could have gotten, but that's
Torrey Smith. You have a little Torrey Smith reunion.
Oh yeah, Torrey Smith. I thought you said Corey.
There you
Smith.
go.
Torrey Smith. Oh no, he had a really bad. He had a horrible experience in San Francisco.
I bet he's on the market. Get him back.
I really like Marcus Goodwin. And Sam and I were talking. I don't think he likes him as much as I thought he was blossoming with Jimmy. I mean, I'm not saying he's a number one, but like he could be a number two. You know, he could be a number two.
I mean,
of course.
To be honest, man, like he's a track star. I actually think, to be honest, I think Torrey Smith is a better Marquise Goodwin.
He's taller, but
he can't. I think he's a shade slower, but he's pretty well fast. You know, like he's quick. But Sammy Watkins. There's another one that's going to be.
Could be interesting. Yeah, if you got him.
I doubt that. No, he is, because I don't think the Bills took his 5th-year option, so I think he is going to be a free agent.
Ooh.
He could be. Could be a good.
Could be nice. Nice buy low.
That could be a really good buy. Yeah.
Nice little buy low there.
You can get him.
All right. You got me excited now. You got me excited, my friend. It's been a pleasure, Kemp. Always is. We will. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
All right, man. Talk to you later, bud. Good
All right,
combo.
buddy. All right, buddy.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too.